You never ever know about the NWO. Deep behind enemy lines for October the 1st, 2020. A little almost 1:30 p.m. at No Link News today. News, yeah, California is sinking. Everyone, get prepared for this. Nearly 1,000 earthquakes rattle Salton Sea in the last 24 hours. Move over, Harptards. You'll not see this news or earthquake prediction from Doomsday Dumbass Disinfo Dutchie's Magic 3D Earthquake Crystal Ball first. So let's get to the science of things. Hold on a second. I need to turn off this media source. Here we go. Yeah, let's get to the science of things. Back in 1998, Mitch Petros, I heard him on Coast to Coast AM on the Art Bell radio show talk about this space weather and how we're all being duped by the global warming Agenda 21 community. And he had this equation, makes a heck of a lot of sense. It went something like this, how he connected the galaxy, the sun, and the earth together with highly charged energetic particles and cosmic rays that triggers earthquakes and affects our weather. And his equation went something like this. The space weather equation, sunspots trigger solar flares. Solar flares trigger the Earth's magnetic field to shift. A shifting Earth's magnetic field triggers the Earth's jet stream and Earth's ocean currents to shift. These shifting ocean currents and shifting jet stream currents trigger extreme weather and human disruption. So now today we're looking at and seeing that we've had a little more, once again, geomagnetic activity the last 48 hours. Nothing like the severe storm we had a few days ago. Geomagnetic storm, of a KP6 index was recorded at the Space Weather Prediction Center. But still, needless to say, we're still observing today what seems to be a small stream, a minor stream of solar wind. Let's bring it up to speed. I'll show you here. Transition over here. At a KP index of 4. Now, what's really strange about the solar weather today is the fact that it seems to be that the X-ray flux is indicating that the lack of solar activity is off the charts. The lack of solar activity is literally off the charts over the last 24 hours. No, I'd say last 48 hours. Okay. So this is a very, very unusual anomaly, a strange occurrence, just to say the least, that when we look at some of this data today, the geoelectric field model is showing a weak geomagnetic activity, resulting in, like what I said just a little bit ago, the solar winds were as high a day ago as nearly 610 kilometers a second. We're currently at wind speeds of in between 500 and 550 kilometers a second. And there's now what I was showing, the lack of solar activity. The temperature of the solar winds may in fact be decreasing, but also so is the temperatures, and the density of the solar wind is decreasing. So we're getting another, flux in the magnetic field. We'll go to the next magnometer here. So this flux in the magnetic field, I don't know, a possibility, gravitational forces are contributing to this movement that's occurring in the Salton Sea. But once again, we're still seeing a magnetic flux as magnetic perpetrations around the globe are shifting the ocean and the jet stream currents currently across the Arctic and Antarctic. And there was a brief magnetic flux, as you'll see here. It sweeps all the way around the globe as it starts there and expands from the Indian Ocean and then travels across over to Africa and includes the South Atlantic anomaly. Well, let's see. We'll go to this magnometer before we bring you up to speed today on this latest developing news. The Salton Sea earthquake swarm. Nearly 1,000 earthquakes. But look at this, man. Since September 26, you can see the intensity of these magnetic storms have left a footprint, and their frequencies have been recorded here at the Gadona, Alaska station. This 64 this induction magnometer indicates how strong that the magnetic storms are when they hit Earth's magnetic field. And as you see here, back on the 28th, there was we had a major flux where the Earth got whacked, the Earth's magnetic field got whacked. But I don't know what this all means to you all out there in the scientific community, but it seems pretty convincing today. There's going through some major changes inside from being electrically charged with these highly energetic cosmic ray and charged particles. So at 10 a.m., about 9 a.m., between 9 a.m. and about 1 p.m., which obviously is universal time. So we're looking at about 6 hours ago. Big major flux in the magnetic field up at Poker Flat from its magnometer. So this Earth's climate and space environment is scientifically determining the impact of plasma particles and radioactive outputs from our sun. With these remote sensors across Alaska, the magnometer array senses the interactions between the solar wind and the Earth's magnetosphere. So since this is just another, indication how we like to predict earthquakes and things of noteworthy Earth changes, let's now move over to the USGS and bring you in and zoom you in and show you, we had some pretty strong earthquakes, I thought, the last 24 hours. Where was it here? No, maybe not. There it was. 6.4 in Tonga. The strongest earthquake in the last 24 hours, 6.4 magnitude. There we go. The depth of 35 kilometers. So zoom back in and bring you up to the latest here in Southern California near the Salton Sea. You don't see it on Magic. You don't see it on... Dutchie doesn't see this on his Magic 3D earthquake crystal ball. But let's zoom in and show you how widespread and intense this earthquake swarm has gotten today, in the last 24 hours, here on the southern end of the Salton Sea, and a region known for being the food basket for America. Yeah. A lot of the food grown and across and shipped around the country is grown in this small region, and I'll bring you up to speed on how and what are causing these earthquakes here in just a moment. But yesterday we had a 4.9 earthquake, which was the largest of this earthquake swarm. According to the USGS, this earthquake could be felt all the way over to the Yuma Proving Ground, up through and north to the Little Bighorn Mountains, and all the way east to San Diego. I mean west to San Diego, my fault. So from the epicenter right there on the southern end of the Salton Sea, this earthquake can be felt all the way into Arizona, Yuma Proving Grounds, up as far north as Joshua Tree National Park and Little Bernardino Mountains, and through and across Palm Desert and over to San Diego. So is this a foreshock? Many are worried that it could be the big one, precursor to the big one. Got many worried. This was a pretty strong earthquake there in that region, but needless to say, there's earthquakes all down and through this fault line. Regional information shows there was a little economic loss and no deaths from this earthquake. In the fault plane sensors, the fault line tensor, or the earthquake tensor, shows the fault line movement here in this three-dimensional ball. See, 5 kilometers deep was yesterday's 4.9 earthquake. Yep. So Doomsday Disinfo Dumbass Dutchie, I'm sure, is looking for oil pumping operations down here where all these nearly 1,000 earthquakes. Over the last 24 hours, there's 165 earthquakes. There's 126 that you see currently on this map, all located within, a few miles of each other in this farming community where they pump water out of the ground using groundwater in the aquifers and to feed these fields. I'm going to go and switch this over to the last 24 hours, the magnitude, so you can all understand and see how many earthquakes are occurring. But it's quite noteworthy to know, man, that is one major intense earthquake swarm, everyone. Yeah. And we're looking at dozens of earthquakes an hour. So, yeah, it's rattling Southern California, and the residents there, I'm sure, are pretty spooked over and worried. Yeah, the big one may be soon coming here, right here in this near this epicenter. So we're, just nearly 5 kilometers northeast of Westmoreland, California, and Well, let's switch over to the street view and show you some of the potential populated areas in and around the Salton Sea area where this earthquake swarm is occurring. Here's El Centro, California. So we're near U.S. Navy. We're in between a U.S. naval reservation. We also have geothermal fields, geothermal fields, geothermal fields, tongue twisting. Anyways, and then over here to the east, you have Chocolate Mountain Aerial Gunnery Range. So we all know what this whole area is notorious for and known for. Doomsday Dumbass Disinfo Ditchy. Yeah, they dump a lot of bombs, and there's a lot of earth shaking going on right here on the Salton Sea too. But who am I to point out some dummy thinks there's going to be a volcano erupting just north up here by Pisgah Crater. But well, anyways, we've tried to debunk his dumbass numerous times by proving it hasn't happened yet. There's no proof. But he keeps ignoring it. He's got his head stuck up his ass. His ego is so large he can't pull it out to see the daylight. Yeah, that's the truth about Doomsday Dumbass Dutchy. Yeah. Okay. Now, I like this map here. This is going to show you. We're going to just play over and over again. Loop it in. Over the last 24 hours, nearly 400 earthquakes. A magnitude from zero intensity to a 4.9. So right here between Highway 101 and 78, right there, we're seeing how intense this earthquake swarm can be, as the purple dots indicate the precise timing and how quickly this swarm grew to becoming very noticeable by the USGS Dutchy. Where you be hiding earthquakes in the Southern California, huh? I thought you were the earthquake forecasting guy now. Come on, man. What's up with this dumbass Doomsday Dutchy shit? I thought you were forecasting this for people, warning them. Yeah, be prepared for the big one, Dutchy. Here we go. We're going to show you a 3D model. Let's see if we can switch this over here to the 3D model. See below the surface how this earthquake swarm, what it will look like. In this earthquake browser. Yeah. This, you won't see this on Doomsday Dumbass Disinfo Dutchy's magic 3D earthquake crystal ball. No, you won't. I don't think so. So we'll look at the plane of the ground plane, and I don't know. Can I zoom in? Yeah, I can I? I can zoom right in, can I? You can look right under the ground plane where all these earthquakes are. So they're they're reasonably very close to the surface. Right there they are. Yeah, they're reasonably quite close to the surface. So we're like giving you an underground view, Dutchy. Yeah, your magic 3D earthquake doesn't show you pictures underground where the earthquake epicenters are located at, like my magic 3D earthquake crystal ball does. See? So you see the ground plane up here above the gray line, and then the darker gray where the purple dots are at gives you a precise view, yeah, of ground and location under the ground or above the ground if you want to twist it and put it, you zoom it in this way too. So let's see, can we do it this way? Yeah, there we go. There we go. See that? Oh, yeah. Pretty cool, huh? Anyways, this map's pretty flippin' nifty how you can zoom it around. back and play the earthquake Zoom game. See, the thing about it is, this shows up a lot better. Well, it won't let me zoom in anymore. Okay, but we'll have to time I zoom in, it shuts off the animation. So let's go back to the satellite view. Show you what it looks like again on satellite off. Now, moving on, let's move into and bring you in the mainstream media. Latest news today. Okay, slow folk, come on. We got 10 minutes, come on. Play.
News: a swarm of earthquakes rocked desert communities near the Salton Sea today. They were centered near Westmoreland in the Imperial Valley, about 180 miles southeast of LA.
We're told in all there were about 80 earthquakes ranging from magnitude 2.5 to 4.9. The largest one happened around 5:30 tonight. Seismologist Dr. Lucy Jones says none of those earthquakes happening in the Imperial Valley or anywhere near the San Andreas Fault. They're in the Brawley seismic zone, we're told, a network of small faults that connect the San Andreas and Imperial faults. Historically, the largest Brawley event was a magnitude 5.8.
Okay, so we're nowhere near the San Andreas Fault zone. And I did a video a couple years back that indicated that these fault lines are being connected and ended up along the Nevada-California border. And it may be part of a new fault lines that are splitting. But this is also in an area where a lot of groundwater aquifers are being depleted, and of course the droughts are causing the ground to sink. Subsidence is a major word in the vocabulary being used by geologists of what is occurring in this area. But who am I to point this out? Doomsday Dumbass Dutchie, huh?
Breaking news live at 6. Dozens of earthquakes now continuing to rattle the area just south of the Salton Sea. Some people in the valley now feeling some of that shaking. In fact, the largest, a 4.9 earthquake happening in just the last half hour. First Alert meteorologist Taban Sharifi in for Haley Clausen tonight and tracking all the seismic activity. And Taban, we're familiar with this area, these swarms somewhat common just south of the Salton Sea.
Yes, John, we actually see this quite frequently. We have seen 40 plus in the last hour or so, but this is on the Brawley seismic zone where these swarms are quite common, and these have been pretty small earthquakes. Like you mentioned, the largest one, a 4.9. Even Dr. Lucy Jones has tweeted about these earthquakes, saying they are too far from the San Andreas to really even increase the probability of a larger earthquake there. Now we are tracking those still, 4.9 being the largest that we've seen. And when it comes to the magnitude scale, we're talking about a 4.9 earthquake, still considered to be a very minor earthquake. Some damage, some people can feel it. We are getting some reports of people feeling it in Mecca. So let us know, did you feel that earthquake? And of course, this has been the largest one so far, but with these swarms, we could continue to see this. So a good reminder, is your earthquake kit ready? Do you have water, food, medical supplies to last you for at least 3 days? These always a reminder that the San Andreas prone to bigger earthquakes to happen. So keep that in mind, and we'll continue to track these earthquakes and those extremely warm temperatures we're feeling in the Coachella Valley. I'll have those details in your first look forecast.
Well, there you go. You never know. For No Link News, I am Never Know, Patriot Broadcasting, and Liberty Tree Radio field reporter number 8,510. And as always, God bless the Republic. Death to the New World Order. We are on the march. The Empire is on the run. We shall prevail.